Hey team, hope everyone's doing okay. Um, this month I've got some really fun stuff for you. It was Brian Buffini's mid-year bold predictions update, and there were some wild data and slides I need to share with you. I ended up doing some screenshots here to share with you from some of the highlights that you're going to want to look at. And of course, real estate, everything's local. So in the Salt Lake City market, we have some issues, and I'll talk about that in a second. But these are national stats. We know everything's local, but bear with me. I think there's some good stuff here. So the real takeaway, if you remember anything at all from this video, is that we are going back to the future. Everything is back to the way numbers were in 2019. That was sort of the key theme. So as we get back to normal, let's see what that looks like. Inventory, active listings back in 2019. Again, this was BC, before COVID, 1.24 million. And then we all know what happened from there. So remember, COVID hit and inventory went down. Real estate became the new toilet paper, right? Went to 823, 547s where it bottomed out, 692, 647, and then it's on its way back up to kind of normal. Next up, he went to the monthly supply. This is interesting too. So we know that in a balanced market, it's about 6 months of inventory is sort of a balanced market between buyers and sellers, which is the direction we're treading. But back here, June of 19, we were at 4.4. Again, COVID, you can see how we dropped off a cliff. There's no secret there. Well, here in June of 2025, we're sort of back to where we were. So again, everything is lining up that way. Next up, he covered buyer's market versus neutral versus seller's market. So over here on the left, you've got a buyer's market. This is where prices have kind of come down. In Florida, things went so far up so quickly. And then after COVID was over, people, they left Florida. They went back to New England and stuff. And so a lot of these places, and same in Texas where it was warm, they're starting to crash a little bit. Our market here in Salt Lake, he actually showed it being neutral, but it's still also a bit of a seller's market. Again, if the house is priced right, it is a seller's market. I know you know that, but they kind of classified it more neutral to seller's market, although that's starting to kind of flatten out. Next up, this was good stuff. Existing home sales unit volume, and this is kind of fascinating. So back in 19, we were at 5.34 million. We've always had these numbers. Things were clicking along great. Even during COVID, we sold a lot of houses across the country. And then the last 3 years have been amazing. We've dropped down to like basically 4 million. And the last time numbers were that low were like in the mid 90s in America. And the difference now is we have 85 million more people living here. So it's just amazing that the numbers have been this low, and we all, 1 million units lower for the last 3 years. 2 million over the height of COVID. I mean, we all know how that feels, right? What hasn't changed or what hasn't gone back to the future is the home sales prices. So this is just crazy. 315 in July of 19, 349, okay, 10%, that's fine, another 10%. And then you just see this huge when COVID, like when it was just going nuts and things just went up crazy, 385 to 449. But then again, look in these last 3 years, it's just been flat. I mean, $50 difference, $500 difference, it's just boom across the board. Again, these are national averages, but things have flattened out. Values are not going to the moon. They're stabilized now, right? And then finally, a couple other quickies. Days on market, again, back to the future. 27 days, we've dipped down, we're back to 27 days. And it doesn't feel good when it takes longer to sell homes, and no one's talking about how the speed of the market or the slowing of the market really kind of doesn't feel right, even though we're doing okay. And then let's see, here we go. Whoops. Before COVID, interest rates. That's the other thing. Obviously, 375 in the twos with the free COVID money, and then pow. And this thing just went up really. I mean, this was the Fed slamming the brakes on real estate. We know what happened there. And then this is interesting. I mean, we've been flat, pretty much the same level for the last 3 years. This will change. So when it does change, what happens when rates go from 7 to 6%? They're going to add, there's another 5.5 million households will be eligible to buy. Now, not all of those are going to buy. Of those 5.5, there's 1.6 million that are renters. But what he said is that there's going to be the results of that going from 7 to 6. There's going to be an additional 550,000 in new home sales, or just home sales in general, which really go from that 4 million up to 4.5. We're going to see, and that's a 12% increase. So that was the takeaway. Good stuff here. I appreciate you watching. If you have any questions, please reach out, and we'll talk to you soon. Take care.